All right, welcome back to the Paperstac Podcast. My name is Rick Allen. This is my esteemed colleague, friend, co-host, Brett Burky. And we are back for a really special day, special podcast. Why is this special, Brett?
This is number 100.
100.
100.
We've made it
podcasts.
to the with triple digits. We're at 100. It's funny, I talk to people all the time. They say, yes, I follow you. I catch your podcast. And it still blows me away when I talk to people. I'm like, I can't believe you're the one. I feel like sometimes we're talking and it's just going out into the digital world and it never...
people somehow watch this.
There's people listening. Listening to the... Yeah, I know.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we have good things to say. You know, that's... it's, you know... I was looking back at some of the videos and how far we've come from the first episode, which was shot on our back porches, and literally there's some...
I was at the back porches, and then we did one at the pool.
We did one at the pool. We were drinking beer, and our kids running around.
Yeah,
that was fun. And then there was one where we were trying to shoot the video, and we couldn't leave because it was COVID, and the freaking lawnmower people were like,
yeah. There's been so many of those bloopers or snafus.
There's been a couple of them. One of the last ones just recently, there was a wire hanging down the front.
Oh my gosh, I saw that on TikTok the other day.
Did you?
It literally popped up on my TikTok, and I was like, I can't believe it.
Yeah, it didn't look very good at the first. Yeah.
You say we've come very far, but yet we shot half a podcast with a wire.
We've come pretty far. We'll be better by 400. We'll finally probably figure this all out. But yeah, it's good. We're gonna go to DME next week. I'm super excited to go to Nashville.
I wish I was going with you. One, it's in Nashville, but two, DME is really a good conference. Nate has picked it up from what it was, the foundation that was laid there, and has really run with it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I mean, I haven't been to Nashville in decades, and so it should be fun. I'm looking forward to eating some barbecue. Looking forward to
the finally taking it out and offering it to the public.
No closings?
Noclosings.com.
Yes. I'm so excited about that.
That's
going to be really good.
I've seen it. I've used it. It's
pretty robust.
It's pretty cool. Very robust. It's fantastic. Mike's done a great job on it. Our other developers have worked on it. It's great. It's gonna be awesome. So now you don't have to have your assets listed on Paperstac to still get that Paperstac experience of having the automation, of having everything handled, use of escrow.
Yeah. It's going to be really cool. I'm excited for that product. You know, once that starts to get built out, then we can backport stuff to Paperstac, and so it's just going to make everything better. So it's going to be so cool. So, all right. So today we're going to do something because last time me and Rick shot a podcast, we talked about foreclosure. And
what to look for.
What to look for in foreclosure. And the word that kept coming up again, which
one of the topics was bankruptcy.
Well, they kind of sound synopsis, you know, they kind of run hand in hand sometimes. So what I want to know this time around is what is the important part of bankruptcy when you're purchasing notes? What's the advantages of it? Why would I want something in bankruptcy? What am I looking out for if somebody's in bankruptcy? Are there patterns I want to watch out for? Just an all-around synopsis of, you know, a high-level look of, you know, because it is a filter on the for sale page, so you can actually filter by bankruptcy. So why would I want to do that? Why would I want a bankruptcy?
It's a good. That's a great question. Some people love them. Some people hate them. I've kind of run the gamut on bankruptcies. One thing to note is there's really two major types of bankruptcies that you're going to deal with, and that's Chapter 7 and Chapter 13.
Right.
Now, I think there's 6 total types of bankruptcies. There's 4 other ones out there. Chapter 11, which is typically, that's only used by businesses. Chapter 15, which I believe is done by foreign agents who have or who are filing bankruptcy, so people from another country. And there's a Chapter 12, which I believe is like for farmers. So there's different kinds of bankruptcies out there. The important ones are Chapter 7, Chapter 13. So Chapter 7, pretty much the borrower doesn't want the asset.
Okay.
And Chapter 13, you're likely to be in a situation where the borrower wants to retain the asset and payments. Now, you can be locked up in a Chapter 13 where the borrower's like, look, I don't want that asset. And so you have to get what's called relief from stay.
I remember that. You remember talking about release from stay. And that's just some kind of special document. You can get it online easily, or is it?
Yeah, so no, you don't. It's not a document you get online. Let's just kind of start with when you're first initially looking at a bankruptcy, you want to look for the proof of claim.
Explain, what does that mean?
The proof of claim. It's a document that's filed with the courts that outlines the claim of debt owed by the bankruptcy estate.
Who files that?
The creditor does. So if I'm the mortgage holder, I don't do it, I have my attorney do it. But what will typically happen is you'll get notification that the borrower's filing bankruptcy because you have a lien against the property. You bought a note, they're filing bankruptcy, they pull title report, search public record. Why it's very important to record your assignments is so that if they do file bankruptcy, they know who to come looking to.
Oh, that's a good point.
Well, that's the same thing. If you go to file bankruptcy, or you go to if you don't file your proof that you've purchased the property, the assignment, and they go to sell the property, and they go to pull up the lien, it's going to be the last lien holder.
I've seen that happen before. We've had people like chase people down on the platform, like, dude, you never got this recorded.
So it's important. Yada yada. It's important. So, whenever you are looking at a bankruptcy, look at the proof of claim.
And that's something that the creditor puts out, and that is
the creditor will give it to their attorney, who will file it with the bankruptcy court.
Does that get recorded?
Yes, it'll get recorded into the bankruptcy. And so what the proof of claim does is it outlines the debt that's in the bankruptcy. It'll basically say, is it secured debt or unsecured debt? Okay. You know, credit cards are unsecured. Mortgages, secured. Car loans,
unsecured.
No, they're secured.
Oh, because they're by the car.
They're secured by the car. So it'll outline usually in the proof of claim, or not usually, always, it outlines what's secured, what's not secured.
Oh, so wait a second. But why would you know all the other stuff? The car, the credit cards, and why are you filing that if you're the mortgage?
If I'm the mortgager, or I'm the person that holds the mortgage, that I own the mortgage, I'm just filing my proof of claim for the mortgage.
Okay, so the creditors, the credit card will file proof of
claim.
Right,
and so that way you can go in there and see, like, hey, look, what's the total, like, how many people are filing claims here? Do we have 5 mortgages this person has? Do we have 1 mortgage? Do we have a bunch of credit cards, car loans? Are they getting sued by somebody? What's going on? Like, you can see all that. So whenever and usually you have a couple months to file your proof of claim.
Okay.
So but if you don't file the proof of claim, then you might miss out. So when you're looking for this, when you're looking at a bankruptcy, you want to make sure you're looking at the proof of claim. And then you want to look and say, okay, well, what type of bankruptcy is it? Is it a 7 or a 13?
So proof of claim plays for both 7 and 13?
Yes, there's always proof of claim. All the creditors are filing their proof of claim. That's like adding up all the debts, and everybody files it, and you can see how much money is owed and to whom.
And the person in the house chooses whether they want to do 7 or 13?
Yes, they'll usually file. Well, yes, they'll decide, I'm going to file a Chapter 7 or I'm going to file a Chapter 13.
So you get notice that, hey, look,
bankruptcy's been filed.
Right. It doesn't matter Chapter 7, 13. And then you go, hey, go to my lawyer, hey, this is what was owed, this is the UPB that's owed?
At the time, no, not the UPB, the total amount owed to you at the time they filed bankruptcy.
So that might be arrears.
Arrearage. So they may be current on their mortgage and just have a bunch of credit cards or car loans or something else that they're like falling behind on, or some giant debt came over their head and they need to file a bankruptcy to cover it. So Chapter 7. Usually that's going to be a Chapter 13, right?
Because if they're up to date on their house,
they don't want to let their house go.
Okay.
They want to keep their house.
Chapter 7 is like, it's all going.
It is. They'll sell their assets, except if it's a primary residence. They can't force you to sell your primary residence to cover debt in Chapter 7. You get to keep that. That's outside the bounds of bankruptcy.
But they still have to pay.
Right. But if you're, yes, they have to continue to pay.
So as a note investor, like, how is it different if it's Chapter 7 or 13 if they can choose if they want to pay?
They're choosing on the assets that they want to restructure and make payment plans on to keep. Chapter 7, they're taking the Chapter 7, they're saying, look, I want to be absolved of this debt. I don't want this debt. So they sell off the assets they have available, pay off the debt, and you're done.
Got it.
Chapter 13, you're saying, hey, I messed up. I need to catch up on these. Let's make a payment plan.
Got it.
So it's payment plans or pre-petition or contractual payments, and then there's post-petition payment plans. So
What's that mean? Post-petition?
I'm filing for it. Here's the plan I want. This is the pre-petition plan.
Yeah.
The post-petition, here's the plan that we agreed on. So you may say, here, this is how much I'm willing to pay. And usually you have to have it caught up in 3 to 5 years. So they put together everything. They put together a plan. Here are the debts that I'm going to restructure and I'm going to get caught up. Here are the debts. And then they'll say, okay, here's the proposed plan. Mm-hmm. Here's the plan that's been approved, the approved plan.
Who approves it?
It'll have to be approved by the creditors and by the courts.
Got it. Okay. So they submit a plan. This is what I'd like to do. Mm-hmm. And then the post will be like, this is actually
what's been agreed upon. This is what's stamped in. Here it is. So for a Chapter 13, these can look really attractive if they have a 5-year plan and they're a year and a half into their plan. Right?
Right.
Because you're getting 2 payments. You have what's called the arrearage account. So this is all the money that's past due, but they still have to continue to make their normal mortgage payment.
Right.
So you're going to get an arrearage account and you're going to get a mortgage account, a mortgage payment. So this can really boost your returns getting 2 payments.
I could see that. So now here I am going to play. Why the heck would you do that? If I'm getting.
Why the heck would you what?
if I'm the guy who's getting the 2 payments, why am I? This is good. I like it. I'm getting 2 payments. I'm going to sell it. Like, why are you selling it?
Well, what if you bought it as a non-performer for 50 cents on the dollar? Okay. Right? And now you're a year and a half in, they're making their payments on a payment plan. You can sell both of those and sell them at a higher margin. Or I've seen people actually sell the mortgage and kept the arrearage account.
How does that work when you're transferring the loan?
I don't know. I haven't done it.
You haven't done it?
No.
Because I'm like that, because that would be kind of weird. Because you don't own the mortgage anymore, but they're paying you.
But there's an arrearage there, so you maintain the arrearage account.
Interesting. So someone would actually want to maybe sell because they bought it as non-performing. Now it's performing because of this, and now they can sell for a lot more. They'd rather just cash out and go.
Correct.
Okay, I understand the process now.
So Chapter 7, you're really looking at probably you're going to get the house back.
Right, that's the goal. But you said
if it's a non-performing loan, you're gonna likely get the house back because they're gonna use that to sell the asset. So what'll happen is whenever a bankruptcy starts, right? It's called automatic stay happens. Okay. An automatic stay means you can't continue any debt collection, whether it's a 7 or a 13. As soon as they do bankruptcy, you cannot continue to go after their debt. Because it's in bankruptcy. Okay. The only way you can do that is if you have your attorney file a motion for relief from stay. And what that does is you're going to the judge and you're saying, hey, this house is in foreclosure, and usually what will happen is it's not their primary residence and they don't want to keep it, right?
Oh, okay. So
or it's their primary residence and they owe you a bunch of money outside of the foreclosure or outside of the bankruptcy that they owe more than the house is worth.
Yeah, so
if they owe more than the house is worth, then they can't very well sell that and go through the foreclosure, sell the property inside the bankruptcy, and end up
making anything.
No.
Yeah.
So you file a motion for relief and you get your money out, or you have them remove that asset from the bankruptcy, and then you can continue your foreclosure. There's some states that allow you to pick up the foreclosure right where you left off. Other states you have to do a restart.
Interesting. And how long does this normally take? Are the timelines way different for both?
Yeah, bankruptcies can take forever. I mean, it can take, you're talking a couple months just for people to file the proof of claim, right? Borrower files bankruptcy. Now they have to send out notifications to everybody. So
you got to wait for everyone?
Oh yeah, you got 3 months. It's going to take 3 months.
So you're waiting on Visa and MasterCard?
You're waiting on everybody. You're waiting on those people.
So you might be first, but now you got to wait on everyone else.
You got to wait on everybody else.
Because it's just one proof of claim.
You got to wait for the proof of claims because you got to figure out what's going on. They say, okay, close the doors. Here's what we have to work with.
And you might be able to. You might get everything in, and the proof of claim's in. You're like, oh, this person's
they're in trouble.
Yeah. Oh, jinx. So like you would,
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. I don't know if I really have any more questions. I think you knocked out everything I have for bankruptcy. I mean, I understand why someone would want it if I'm not the person who bought it not performing, but I actually am the person who's wanting to buy it and turn it around or just get the money now. I can see why someone would want to sell it. I can understand the differences.
So some interesting things on relief of stay.
Okay.
So if you file, say they're in a Chapter 7, they haven't been making payments, or maybe they're in a Chapter 13 and they haven't been making payments, right?
Okay.
And they've agreed to, they don't, they're like, listen, I'm going to let this house go. Maybe it was an investment property. I'm going to let you file it. Once they do the bankruptcy and you get motion for relief of stay, and they've agreed to release it, they typically can't fight you on the foreclosure. They're not supposed to be able to hire an attorney to fight the foreclosure.
Yeah, well, I mean, first off, where are they getting the money? They're fighting a foreclosure with an attorney. I mean, if they're going bankruptcy, if they have money to fight a foreclosure, wouldn't they have money to pay off the debts?
Hey man, you should see the amount of times that I had somebody with a tenant in the house, and they were taking the rents from the tenant to pay the attorney to fight the foreclosure.
Oh.
You want to talk about, basically giving them like unlimited ammo in a gunfight. Just every now and then they send their attorney $2,000. They lose a couple months of rent or a month and a half of rent, and then they just keep on collecting rent. And then, the way the courts work, they give the money, say an attorney is, like the flat fee attorneys are like, hey, $2,500, that's, $200 an hour. You're getting a good amount of time, right? 12 hours.
Just to kick the can.
And all the attorneys do is to fight it. It's like just they're filing documents. They're like, well, I need you to send me the payment history starting at the date of the loan, or something like that. They just start digging. I need you to send me the servicing comments from all the past servicers. So what do you have to do?
You're gonna find that.
Now you have to go back and you have to start searching and finding it. And so they just do those little things. So how long does it take the attorney to do that? An hour and a half to file that? Well, they've still got then 11 hours of work.
Oof.
And so you can,
Oh man,
it's tough. And so if you have to have your attorney on it. And that's why if I usually get that situation, I'd always just pay them. I'm like, here, how much do you want to go away?
Don't you actually have something that you put, like, I can't remember if it was in the note or the mortgage that you have, if you're caught renting the house out, it's like immediate foreclosure.
It's not an immediate foreclosure. It's called an assignment of rents. You can have something in the mortgage that if you stop paying rents, or like it's an assignment of rents, or you can petition for the court to do that.
Right. I remember that was something this was years ago, but you were looking at it and I was like, that's pretty slick, where you put it in so that they couldn't just foreclose on you.
They can't do that. So if, for instance, it goes into foreclosure or there's a bankruptcy situation, you can apply for assignment of rents.
Interesting. So they can't collect that money to kick.
So they can't collect the money and keep fighting you with it.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's interesting. I mean, they know. Do they always know that there is an end to this? They can't win.
No, but it's just, if you get frequent filers, they just know how to drag it out. And
frequent filers.
Frequent filers, people who have
different
filed.
From frequent flyers.
Yes, frequent filers.
That's hard to say. Frequent flyers.
You've butchered it. There you go, folks. That'll be on the episode 200 blooper reels. But you get people who will just continuously file. So that's something, patterns, right? You look for patterns.
That's a bad one.
That's a bad pattern.
That's a bad pattern to be in.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Well, all right. So, episode 100. We should probably give something away. So.
We're giving something away?
Well, I mean...
To who?
I don't know. Somebody leaves a comment. Let's see here. We'll hide an Easter egg in here in the post-production. There'll be some kind of sneaky thing that was done.
A sneaky thing that was done?
Maybe like a leprechaun running across a desk or something like that. Something fun. We'll just pop up in the corner. You got to give us a timestamp. When they saw it, the first person to do it, we're sending you a T-shirt.
Okay.
That was fun, right?
Yeah, that was good.
I saw Mr. Ballin do it. Mr. Ballin did it, so must work.
All right. Well, we'll continue to do it. Brett is he's going to have a bunch of cameras and recording stuff, and he'll be at DME. If you're going to DME, stop and say hello to Brett. And,
Well, I'll have all these cameras. Thank God Mike's going with us, because me alone with just the cameras be bad news.
Yes,
So
I won't be there.
fun.
I won't be able to attend this one. I have a family engagement, but looking forward to hearing all the great things that happen there.
Yeah, me too. Should be fun. I like Nashville. I like food. So let's do it.
So, all right, we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.
See ya.